Checking in with you. I want to share some of the most important content that I've ever created. Perhaps because I want to take the time to answer one of the most commonly asked questions that I've ever had to answer, ever. One that is very tough, but I think it will help a lot of folks that are either in relationship or married or want to be married or any of the following. If you are looking for the love of your lifetime, or if you found it and you simply want a better relationship with that person, I'd like to answer this question this way. Often what I'm asked is, Cindy, how do I tell what's mine and what's theirs? What's mine and what's theirs? You know, like, clearly this is them and this is me, and this is what they're doing and this is me. And I don't let you get away with that. I don't let you get away with that. That is not love. Think about it. If love is one and a reflected self, then when you ask this question, how can I tell what's mine and what's theirs? And right? That's your ego trying to do this, not this. Think about it. If you notice you and you recognize your reflected self, you confront it like one being. But if you ask the question, how do I know what's theirs and what's mine? It doesn't work that way. That's not love at all. So, I'd like to explain a little bit more about how this mirror works. And I want to give you the reason why it's so important to, at first, do the opposite of what it looks like to be in union. And by opposite, I mean you must face the source image in order to understand it out there. You must face it first in yourself. And a lot of folks, what they try to do is avoid facing themselves. Avoid facing their inner childhood, whatever's unresolved, whatever's going on in here, right? That's what we're avoiding. We're avoiding looking in the mirror. And so then that is the natural forces that automate someone else's behavior in your image. Trying to stop this force is like trying to stop a train with your body. Good luck. Good luck. It's not how it works. You can't. If you are agreeing to be one, then you must understand that there is no other. It is me and you in the mirror, and this is the only way we see the constant that is us as one, not two. And this is the only way that you get to keep the love of your lifetime. This is the only way you get to remain married. This is the only way that somebody rides or dies for you. You hold fast to that mirror. And you hold yourself accountable for what you're seeing, what you accept, everything that you do in the present moment. You hold yourself accountable for the soul inside of your body first. Because if you don't do that, my God, do you learn the hard way. The natural forces called fear and the devil. Let me explain what the devil is. Devil is your fear of what you have lived, that which you placed in your subconscious and let the chaos take over so that you can use it to balance and love yourself from within. And those forces are you still. But those forces are responsible for putting the characters in your life so that you can see what is unresolved in you. If you abuse yourself, you get abusers. If you cheat on yourself by turning a blind eye to terrible behavior and you make it acceptable because, oh, you got to keep this, you get to keep the cheaters and abusers that are unresolved in you. This is the subconscious that you are at work. You want to know why it's so scary? Because it's your Pandora's box. Your fear. In Spanish, todo lo que sufriste cuando eres chiquito. In English, everything that you ever suffered as a child, as a youth, whatever's imprinted, whatever caused you pain, that is what's in control out there. You do not bypass this step, because if you would like to be loved hard for exactly who you are, you must confront this on the 3D plane. That is why you are here. You are here to love yourself, to recognize yourself, to see how this works, because in order to solve the puzzle of yourself, you must confront your veil of fear. You don't get around it. Why do you think God said, do not fear? You want to go play in your world? Okay, I will make you a world all made of just you. You can do anything you want in it, but please do one favor. And every single day that you are on this planet, I want you to remember this one thing. So I'm going to say it 365 times in the Bible. Do not fear. Why? Because if you fear, baby, that's what pulls you out of God's heaven and brings you to the natural forces. Now, don't worry. Don't worry. As God is in control, you are not. You just think you are. You have no free will from the moment you let fear win. In this case, you are a puppet to a machine. That is you, your unresolved subconscious issues. This is not freedom. And that will control your experiences, so you will meet your monster within. So if the man is supposed to cheat on you because you're cheating yourself, that's exactly what you get. If you abandon yourself and beg and plead for somebody to be kind to you, and there you are waiting for the kindness that you're not giving yourself, then you get to keep your abuser. Now, if you understand how this mirror works, and you can forgive and peacefully look at how the illusion of you is serving you, you can resolve it. But let me explain something so that we're clear. The way to solve, how do I know if it's just me, is really simple. You keep finding the same person over and over and over again. And this body may change, whoever the illusion of the other is. The situation does not, and you are the only constant. Meaning, if I'm constantly cheated on, and I keep attracting and falling in love with cheaters, it is I who must recognize that the cheaters are not cheating me of their own free will. They are doing so in accordance to the law of cause and effect. When I cheated my soul and chased a false idol out there and made it more important than I am, I subjected I subjected myself to the fall. I served the wrong master. And now the fear of what I lived is in control. And I do not have free will. And everything that is meant to come to me, full blast, will come to me and will repeat on autopilot. Trying to stop that force is like trying to stop a train with your body. It shouldn't be done. It's not supposed to be done. It is very hard to look at this mirror if you have not looked at yourself first. This is why it must be a contradictory, paradoxical effect in which you are not partnering with anybody at first. You are simply turning back and making peace with yourself. If you do this first, and you have accepted everything that you consider to be darkness, everything that you have not made peace with, then the person that rides or dies for you, even when they act out your fears, you hold each other down in the name of God, in the name of love. And together, you balance it out, because what you are forgetting is it's not you against him or you against her or whatever. The dynamics don't matter here. It's just, you understand, whatever it is the partner is. Okay, it's not you two against each other. It's you two in balance with your peaceful subconscious. This allows the natural flow of this relationship, an equal give and take, a balanced, peaceful union. And even when you disagree, you come back to the truth. You come back to the fact that I am one. And that this person acts out what's unresolved in me, so I make an effort to appreciate the messenger even when I don't like how it appears. And when you make peace with this, you have a peaceful, loving connection that matches. And do you want to know how I know this? Because I keep telling you over and over again, but it must be your experience. In love is love reflected. In God, you are one, because only love is real. And when you love yourself with the power of having accepted what you once rejected, you eliminate your ego's ammunition, and there is no train to stop. It's just flow. It's a loving union. But to understand the mirror, you have to maintain that balance. Otherwise, it costs you the love of your lifetime. Because sooner or later, you will meet the person that humbles you to your knees and can hold you accountable. And if you're not able to receive the force of this power, it will hurt so badly that it will pull you back into yourself anyway. So either way, you are going to end here at a non-dual, all is one understanding. And if you can do this for one person, meaning your love interest, if you can master this at home, just one-on-one as a couple, then I give you the rest of the revelation. What is true of one must be true of all, or it is not true at all. This person gives you insight into your hidden nature. And you must be able to recognize the other half of yourself, your hidden nature, because this, both you and your partner, make the image of everything you perceive with your eyes. That means that what's true of you and your love interest, it's true of me and you, it's true of me and someone in Siberia or Mexico. There is no separation. And if you have that understanding, what have you achieved? The first stage of enlightenment. The one in which your omnipresence on 3D has been established because of the love that you have for yourself being reflected back, so that your peaceful unconscious nature has then taken over, and now you truly understand from experience. Let us make mankind in our image. So if you are truly in love with your partner, you understand these words firsthand. But if you are in any way an ego, God's face will not be revealed to you, and you will not know or recognize God in every moment of your existence to be nothing more than the experience of being yourself. That's all it is. But if you're too afraid to be that, because the autopilot's in control, you'll never understand yourself as the universe right now. We can't serve two masters. You can't ride two horses at once. And God separated the waters for you. And he saw that they were perfect. Now, what does that mean? Well, if water is represented by your emotional state, those emotions that do not belong to heaven remain on earth. Anything that is fear-based can be made solid. But you are here to unify both so that you can create heaven on earth. And the only way that you ever come close to understanding how to do that is by understanding how this works. By taking your responsibility as source of your reality and teaching everyone how it's done by being the light from within, who's able to recognize itself in every human being, because you mastered it first in your love relationship, so now you mastered it everywhere around the world. That's what this is about. If you're going to love hard, then you eliminate the fear. And if you're going to love hard and you're going to understand the gift that your partner gives you, then see properly and realize that we represent each other's unconscious. And the only way to see is to recognize ourselves in the mirror so that you know what to do with the force in between you. And then you yield the power of that force over the universe. And you transmit blessings and healings. And you become what Abraham Hicks calls the vortex. And everything comes to you because of who you are. Because you've realized that nothing stops you from being love. And that experience is universal. It's not what happens, it's what you did about it that matters. But it's love. It's love-based. Everyone asks me, Cindy, where do you get the endless energy to serve people one-on-one, forever? You talk to everybody all over the world. I had 4 calls and I was exhausted. And I was just being just like you. I love what I do. I don't know what to tell you. It's like this endless energy because you're in love with everyone in the universe. You recognize yourself everywhere in the universe. And if your partner helped you realize this, fantastic. If I helped you see this now, fantastic. But the mirror will save your life, or it will be your destruction. It's hardwired this way. In order to enter the kingdom of God forever, you must first understand how the love works on this planet. Then you become the invisible force. But if you don't, you get to have a temporary existence because you judge something apart, so you must have that physical 3D experience. And oftentimes I'm asked, how is this me? Well, stop, be present, don't resist, look in the mirror, and then think about your history. So for example, if I have an alcoholic in my life, maybe that's my dad, my uncles, and everything else. That's still me. You see? Now, do I hold it accountable? Yes. Yes. And that's why I'm loved hard, because I don't let people get away with shit. And I don't let you drag me down with you. I hold fast to the mirror. Because there's no way I'm going to let anyone pull me away from this understanding. This which fills me from within and makes me feel whole. I don't need to shop. I don't need fancy things. I don't need anything. And guess what? All these things came to me anyway when I wasn't looking for them. Why? Because love draws itself. The greatest of all of these things is love. Reread Corinthians 13. Read it from beginning to end. It tells you some of us will be able to prophesize. But if we don't hold ourselves accountable to love, we are an empty gong. No sound behind it. But if you hold yourself accountable to this, it's the light that reaches the whole universe at once. That's what you are. Hold yourself to that standard, and your love will last forever. I promise. And if you're not in a relationship right now and you feel alone, to those of you who feel like that, please study and examine yourself. Don't avoid yourself. If you want a married man, if you want someone that's not fully yours, recognize that's not love. If you want someone who's abusing you, again, not love. I'm not saying ignore it. I'm not saying bypass it. No, you must confront the mirror in 3D and recognize that in those moments you are addicted to the not being loved. And you must take ownership of that and then appreciate this person who had to play this role in order for you to figure this out. So before you make this person your enemy, understand how hard it is to be the anti-force that must hold you accountable for you. That's me. I love you as you are, and I meet you where you are. And this message is being transmitted from the bottom of my heart, and I hope it reaches all of you with the intention of setting you straight in your present moment, of getting you to appreciate the people that are in your lives, of getting you to stop complaining and talking garbage and being in fear of lack. Take control of your life back. Because the love that you receive is what I'm living right now. And I have no words to thank the people in my life, because every single day, the reason I love my job so much is because every single day I have a conversation with God in you. That's why it's so pleasurable. People are like, Cindy, how can you eat people's problems all day long? What? That's hard. I can't do that. You know why? They're not problems. They're your ego's attempt to understand what's unresolved in you. And if you know how to be the solution, then you take pleasure in what you do 24/7. However that manifests in the world, this is just how I choose to serve. I mean this. So if you see me happy, if you want to understand what drives me, it is all of you. I serve you with love, the opposite of division. I recognize myself in every single human being on earth. My omnipresence has been established on the 3D plane, on every corner of this planet, so that I am without excuse. I have achieved the state in which all 5 trees are established in paradise. That means all of my senses speak only of Eden and heaven. And it is the only world I now see. I see through the material plane into the truth of our shared being, that which does not move, the light behind the material plane, the kingdom of God. That is all of you at once. I can't see any other way. That's why. These are genuine tears. This is genuine love. It's just me. I'm free now. I have achieved peace over myself. And that's why I understand the following words. Be still and know that I am God. True of everyone. But if you establish this understanding, you will understand the universe that has always been yours. If you limit it in any way, this is a conscious choice to block the truth of who you are. It is a choice, but you serve the wrong master. You can't be on both horses at once, so you must make a choice to recognize yourself everywhere and be inside the kingdom of God forever, or lack the awareness and continue to ride the horse in fear, playing the role that has you thinking that you have free will and freedom, but you're actually driven by your flesh and your fear. That's not freedom to me. Now that I know the difference, it has taken me years and years and years to process the fact that I was raptured, that God pulled me off of autopilot and said, Cindy, just leave your body there and come with me. And I watched. I didn't die. I wasn't dead. My body was jogging on the street, and I watched it from this point of perception within the deep chamber of my head. And I was like, we can do that. And God laughed. It was like, you never left me. It's impossible. And the truth of that hit me so hard. So either way, you're coming back home. Either way, you're coming back to love. Now, how many times you have to crash upon the waves and the shores of time and space until you figure out that you are it is up to you. Either way, you come back. And so to answer that question, how do I know what's theirs and what's mine? It isn't. If you love each other, it belongs to each other. Because one is agreeing to be the source image, and the other is agreeing to be the mirror, so you can see inside of yourself. True intimacy is exactly that, don't you see? Into me, see. And if you can't recognize that, then you're missing your mark on divine love. Divine love is an unquestionable thing. It is the only thing that is constant. You get to use your power to imagine anything into creation. You don't have to stop anything at all. You get to use that however you want. That is a sea of illusion. And if you enjoy it without attachment, you can enjoy being in the game of life. But you'll be free. But if you can't master this yourself in the present moment, then the forces take you. And you're still under God's control. So if you want your freedom, please start thinking like this. Please understand, I don't want you to bypass reality. I want you to own whatever it is that's here, because on the other side of this turmoil is the life of your dreams. What you don't want, what you do want, side by side they exist. But if you've chosen what you don't want, flip the script. And before you drive yourself crazy trying to do this mentally, let me save you the trouble. Think about what actions you did to arrive here, do the opposite, and you get the opposite result. Easy peasy. Yes? All right, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope this message drives home. It was a direct hit to your heart. I will love you forever, because it's the only way I know how to exist. But I am free now, and I'm offering you the peace that does not come from this world. And if you accept it, you will understand the priceless gift of your own nature. And that's all I can give you, is God, the real one, you. So, thank you. And I love you so much.